The industry here is growing well in the segments that we have strength in, that is UV segment as well as pickup segment. And Mahindra is keeping pace, or in some cases exceeding the industry in terms of how we are growing in the state of Andhra Pradesh. The big news for us has been the XUV, which was launched here in Andhra Pradesh about March of this year. And we are doing strong sales of XUV in the state. In fact, we are not able to meet the demand for XUV in the state. And I have just made a commitment to our team in a meeting earlier that we'll try and increase the supply of XUV to this state so that we can meet the local demand for XUV. We also have a very major launch that has happened just last week in Mumbai and in some other cities after that. That is the Quanto vehicle that we have launched last week. Quanto, as you perhaps know, is the smallest SUV, the only sub-4 meter 7-seater SUV that is available in India, or for that matter anywhere else in the world. We are very happy that we have been able to provide this value to the customer. This is coming out of the Ingenio platform and at a very, very good price because of the cost cutting that we have done at Mahindra, and also because of lower excise, because it's sub-4 meter vehicle. It will be sold at just above 6 lakh in Hyderabad, going up to 7.6 lakh. The sales have already started in Andhra Pradesh, but they'll be picking up slowly. The industry as a whole has been lukewarm. Overall growth has been about 5 or 6%, which is not very high. But what you will find is that the growth is very different in different segments. The UV segment and the pickup segment, where Mahindra is the strongest, have been growing very well. The UV segment has grown more than 50% this year, as opposed to passenger car segment that has grown only about 5%. The pickup segment actually has grown 60 to 70% during this year, and Mahindra has also grown more than 50% in these segments. So fortunately for Mahindra, these two segments where we are strong have been growing very well. The passenger car segment only 5%. The medium and heavy commercial vehicles actually have had a negative growth, and the two-wheeler segment for the first time in almost 3 years had a degrowth in the month of August. And therefore the industry, I would say right now, is struggling a little bit. Of course, festive season also is always is a time of anticipation to see what happens during this time. And I would like to think that some of the announcements that have happened in the last week by the government in terms of policy changes and some aggressive reforms is bringing somewhat of positive sentiment in the customer. And I'm hoping that we will see reasonably good markets in September, October. But right now we don't have any sense on whether September will necessarily be a growth over last year or to what extent.